Now I'm going to go ahead and label all the main caps and rod caps in order, so when I reassemble this thing I can have everything in the exact same spot it was when I took it out. And if you notice, I'm actually going to label the rods on the side, not on the end, because that's the weight balancing pad. Some guys use a punch for this step. I like to use a scribe. So your crank should spin before and after. Little side note is all these journals look excellent. There's no grooving or scoring on them whatsoever. Got all the main caps off now. This crank looks like. According to the Mondello Technical Reference Manual, you want to have all the mains cross-drilled. What that is there's a hole going through the center the main journal. And this crank, 1 and 2 are cross drilled, 3 is not, 4 is, and 5 is not. So I'll price that at the machine shop. I really don't think it's that critical, but this is going to be a marine engine. Focusing my attention on the block, I'm going to pop the bearing shells out, the halves that are still in there, and I'm going to go ahead and hone it out so I can put a bore gauge in the block. That center bearing on an Oldsmobile is a thrust bearing. See how it has a lip on it? That keeps the crank from moving back and forth. Alright, got my cheapo dial bore gauge here. I'm going to set this up and see how the bore looks in this block. So here's how this dial bore gauge works. You take a micrometer, you set it up to the bore of the engine, what it's supposed to be. In this case, it's 4.126. Select an anvil for your dial bore gauge, stick it in there, and you zero it. You got the zero there at 4.126. So you stick the dial bore gauge in here and you rock it until you get the smallest point. What this is here is a telescoping bore gauge. This will be able to measure the big end of the connecting rod to see how close it is. I'm now going to measure all the main bearing bores. The idea is supposed to be somewhere between 3.188 and 3.189. You can see that the number 1 bearing bore is right on the money. I'm sure all the rest are going to be too, the way that crank spun. The next point I would like to discuss is the distance between the cam bearing and the main bearing. What we have here is 2.430, which is exactly what it's supposed to be per Mondello. What that tells me is we have a virgin block here that's never been line honed or bored.